All right, so we're going to
Awesome.
get
Thank
rolling here.
you.
We're talking about today local marketing, um, and how to become basically how to own the neighborhood, right? That's the goal. Hyper local farming strategies that actually work. So I love that topic actually. So let's start with Catherine because I always love starting off with the French accent.
Yeah, that's awesome. You want to start with me, but the problem here is that I've never done local marketing. So
Ah,
I'm actually, so I want to actually learn from all of you guys. And one question I would love to that I have that I would love to hear your feedback is what have you done in terms of like events or parties for a farming area. I would, or even just your clients. I would love to get some input on that. But I am going to be doing today, actually, I'm going to sign up for the Neighborhood Connection magazine that Matt has been doing.
huh?
So I am definitely making it happen this year to be doing some farming. So looking forward to hear from all of you guys and learn a lot.
Right. Yeah, I have some
Excellent.
answers for that we talked about. So Dennis, let's go ahead and you've done a ton of marketing over the years. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm really, really, really want to hear Gail because Gail, you went to a brand new market and killed it. I wish Pete was on this call because Pete also went to a new market and he's killing it. Um,
Right.
Mhm.
so Matt Battiater, my little market here is Crown Point in California in San Diego, and I've probably sold, not probably, I have. I've sold 35% of the homes in this little neighborhood. It's about 400 homes. So I've done very well. So I live here. That always helps to live in the market that you're trying to dominate. Um, I do a newsletter that Matt Battiato taught me. I don't know if that's the same one, Catherine, that you're talking about. Basically, it's REM, I think. We've talked about it ad
Mhm.
nauseum on this call. That newsletter works really, really good. And what I did is what I showed Victoria as well is you draw a map of all the homes, and it helps if you sold a lot of homes. Gail, you could probably use this. I draw a map of the location, Crown Point, and I basically put a sold on every single house that I sold. So you get this map of this peninsula in San Diego, and it's just littered with sales that I've done. Right. So it just shows that I dominate this market. And, the newsletter everywhere says, why would you use anybody else? All that kind of stuff. So that's helped huge. I get calls all the time on that newsletter. I use a company called, and Catherine, you might want to use this too. You can reach out to me later. The name of it is, oh boy, it's a company that does basically a specific phone number, not your cell phone number, but a specific number that you put on the newsletter, and then you could program that into your phone. So when somebody calls off that newsletter, for instance, it'll ring on your phone newsletter, or mine says Crown Point newsletter, and it's that specific number. So wherever I am, if my phone rings with that, I know somebody's calling off that newsletter. I know it's a listing lead, right? No matter what, I'm like, hold on a second, and I pick that phone call up. And also, if you happen to miss it, you can go back into the database and track it. So that's a tremendous system. It's called Call Rail. So just like a railroad track, Call Rail. Okay, so that's the system that I use. It's phenomenal. You never miss a call because we get a lot of spam calls, right? So the newsletter works really good. I could do a better job of maybe doing neighborhood get-togethers, things like that. I have not done that. You know me, Mitch. I'm not that kind of guy, right? I like sending out stuff, spending money, and having it come to me, right? So, whereas Pete Middleton, he's a very social guy where he goes out there and knocks on doors, and Pete's crushing it in Nashville. I mean, he's got, I don't know, 9 listings right now after moving there just for 3 years. It's pretty incredible in a very high end market. So, but he's doing Facebook posts. So that works really well. Instagram, Facebook, a lot of videos. Videos work really well. That's kind of what works really that I'm seeing out there. But the newsletter for me particularly, that's the thing that works. Also, what I do is, we've talked about this before, is when I have a buyer, let's say from an open house or a buyer looking in my neighborhood, I'll send out letters like, hey, I have a buyer for your home letter. If any of you need that letter, let me know and I'll email it to you. Just, you guys all have my email it to me. That letter has literally made me millions of dollars in commissions. One of my team members, Craig, just sent out that letter last week. He got a $3.5 million listing lead in La Jolla. from it. So the letter works phenomenal. The reason why the letter works is it's very specific. It's not I have a buyer for your home. It's hey, I have a buyer for your house looking on XYZ street or blah 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 subdivision. Very very specific. I talk about the buyer. Buyer's coming in from Washington State, a Microsoft engineer or something like that. I never say you have to be careful in what you say. You can't, cross the boundaries of, man, woman, all that kind of stuff. Families, keep that all out of it. But you could say, doctor relocating from Chicago, anything like that. Now, when you get really specific like that, it's real, right? These people are like, well, this realtors all make up stuff. This realtor's not making that up. So this must be real. And you know what, guys? The phone rings. On that call rail, you could also put a different number on those letters. So you could have two different numbers, one for your newsletter, one for the letters that you send out to your little specific market. And then it's a letter call, right? Then pick it up because they're calling off that letter that you have a buyer. So little stuff like that, right? It all adds up. So hopefully that helps a little bit. That's all I have for now, Mitch.
That's great. Good stuff. Gail, so Gail moves from the world to little tiny St. Augustine, and now it's probably like the best agent in St. Augustine. And I want to say it's because of being so close to me, but it's not. Yeah, Gail.
Exactly. Well, I will tell you, I wasn't even going to get on this call, so I'm so freaking stressed because I'm out of lockboxes. I just took 17 listings that are coming on the market in less than 2 months, and I just said no to another 2 listings from agents coming to me asking me to co-list because I've taught them how to prospect, and I'm like, I just don't have the bandwidth. I just don't want to do it. So seriously, it's been a lot. I did close out last year at 45 million, a little over 45 million for my second year in this market. So I do 2 very simple things. Okay. It's very simple. So obviously I started prospecting, getting on calling expireds when I first got it. I don't even touch that anymore because it's just, I'm getting those come list me calls right now. And keep in mind, it's been 2 years, right? I am actually celebrating today because I just got word that my mom's for now on off the IV, so I don't have to take her for a 7-hour appointment twice a week anymore. So I'm like, what? Yay! So, I mean, it was a lot. And that's why my mom's been sick, right? So what I'm doing is working. And Pete Middleton is the one that kind of really helped me out here. And this is why I love this group, right? Because Pete moved from California the same time I was moving. He got to, work. He's going after the bigger ones. I'm going after the most motivated demographic that there is, and it's the over 55 community. They have every reason to move because they move in and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm too young. Or they move in and a spouse dies. Or they move in and they go, wait, this just happened. My lesbian daughter just had a baby. She's getting pregnant, right? She was never going to have a kid. Well, I have a lesbian daughter, and she says she's never going to have a kid. So who knows? But there or something. One lady just kind of stop it, Lurch. But anyway, it was one of those things where they are so motivated. Like I just listed a house that they bought 6 months ago.
He's going to be down here. I just got to make sure that I'm going to be.
David, mic your phone.
Hey, Mike, your mic.
All right. So anyway, so that it's like I just took a listing 6 months. Now they're moving closer to their mother because their mother is sick. So it is the most motivated demographic. And I'll tell you what, I'd rather sell 5 a month than have to go do a showing for $2.5 million where you got to show up early. You got to, because everybody, it's your ego. Why do you want to sell the big, besides David's got those come list me, right? Of course, he's very different. But for me, it was a big ego switch because I came from selling beautiful homes in California and I had my team running around opening and I could trust them. Here, I have a lot of lazy agents on my team, really. So I don't know how long they're going to be on my team. I hope they're on this call because you're about to get canned. So it's about to get real. But in any case, so here's what I'm doing. So this little mailer right here, I'm on my 44th transaction, the over 55 community, right? Well, This is last month. So I'm showing right now, I own 54% of the resale market. So my problem was this thing, right? So they scan it, they don't put their phone number, they don't put their email, so I have to go door knock. So now I went back to the guy that was controlling all of my stuff in California, and he works for Josh Barker. I don't know if anybody ever heard of Josh Barker. He's the #1 agent from Mike Ferry. Oh my God, he's in Reading, and the average home is 250,000. He did 7 million in commission. He owns 78% of the market there in Reading, right? So my buddy Joey, if anybody wants to know, I can put you in touch with him. So what he has done now, he has taken, I can't really talk, explain everything he does, but basically it goes right into, from my website, where they fill it out, it goes right to my plus leads. So it appends it. I get the email, I get the phone number, and then it goes right into my follow-up box into a pond that says, so now I don't have to, I just check every day. It's completely appended. This just started happening because I'm like, there's so much time. I don't have time to, especially when it gets hot here, right? So I'm paying my total cost for less than 500, I'm paying $300 a month. If you're interested in this mailer, I actually get a kickback. So hit me up. I'll give you. It's true. I get a $500 credit or something. Pete's not here, so I'll take it. So,
are you doing REM?
Pete's here, give it to him. So
Gail,
now,
are you doing the REM?
Yes, and
okay.
I could get you my pricing and no setup fee. So that'll save you some money. But so with these mailers, right? It's one of those things where when people open it up, they think these are all your listings. They just say, you sell everything here. This one I just started selling. And this is the Toll Brothers. And I just got the head Toll Brothers guy. He had a house in here. And he thought I sold all of them. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's just branding. So everybody's dumping money on Zillow leads. I'm branding, right? So, and look what happened to all those Zillow people. They're turned into flex teams. So if you're on a flex team, you make 20% by the time everybody gets paid. So that's been a big game changer for me, the HVL. So I'm also doing, now you guys know, I'm big on YouTube, right? Because I did over 420,000 in commission last year on YouTube. Okay, and I only started my channel. I'm at 83,000 followers right now. So basically now what I do, I'm doing this with the same guy, Joey. I'm doing 15-second commercials. Like today, I just was walking my dog and just walk and talk. And I'm doing where, hey, if you're a buyer and you're thinking about coming to this area, there's certain questions that you want to ask. Number 1, how are the schools? Great. Number 2, do I need an inspection if it's resale or if it's, brand new? Number 3, is there good pizza? What about the bagels? Is there a good, so just use your person. So I do 15 seconds because they're forced to watch it. So they're retargeting. And I put my YouTube station live. So since I put my YouTube station live, and that's a whole nother conversation, I gained like another 5,000 followers, right? Because I'm like at night. So I'm getting at 59 people watching, 49 people watching, 20. So, and Craig, I've been telling Craig, I would love to tutor you on this stuff. So it's really, really important because yesterday I just went, you'll love this. Where is it? Oh yeah, hold on, I get it.
You gotta
be like Gail when I grow up.
So now I have my hover. I got my hover now, right? So now I'm doing just some hovering. So I'm showing them, hey, here's the new neighborhoods. They're coming in on me. 4 hours yesterday trying to figure out this friggin' sound because I went out there and I thought I had the sound and there was no sound. Then I downloaded it, and when it downloads to an MP4, it doesn't have sound. So you have to download the beacon on it. But 4 hours. Now I have it figured out. So I'm going to go back out there and reshoot it. I mean, how many, it's just like learning. Nobody's teaching me. I'm not hiring anybody, right?
I'll teach you guys for free if you just want to ask. I can help.
With a hover?
Yeah, with drones.
Now,
absolutely.
Yeah, I finally
audio
figured it.
Drones, using your mic. Just ask. I'm here for you guys.
I had the Mini 4 and I gave it to my son. I go, this is overcomplicated, but I don't like to
I'm in
overcomplicate.
your hood next week. I might run into you and you can show me.
Right. So doing that, and then so my mailers, the HVL, that's really important. Otherwise you got to put it in. I mean, if you don't have to have this guy do it, it's not a lot of money. It really isn't. The walk and talk videos right now are really big, right? You get way more traction if you're walking and talking. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but this week I start my coaching with Ed Milet. So I had to do a walk and talk video with him this morning because he sends me a video, I send him a video, and I'm like, and the cool thing about it is you just, it's people want to, this is what people are telling me if you're getting into YouTube, and I highly suggest you do. They're telling me, Gail, we like you because you're not sitting behind a desk and just saying the market, they like market reports, but they like the fact that I'm out there, I'm showing in my muddy boots, I'm making fun of my husband, I'm telling whatever, they're getting to know me. So they're buying in three days, like 3 days they're here and they're like, I have people coming in tomorrow to buy 2 houses, right? So it's like, and they've already been out here once. They're like, okay, now we're ready. The other last thing, I don't want to take up any more time. Oh, my events. I'm doing pickleball event where I have 3 different, because we have 6 courts. So I'm a member of this club. So I'm going to have intermediate, beginners, and advanced. So I'm going to have a couple of, and then, have wine, cheese, have it out there. Everyone's into pickleball. You want to learn, we're going to give you a lesson. And we're going to have some good food, barbecue. So that's kind of what I'm doing.
Okay, it's awesome. Multi-pronged effect. I love it. Kim, you're up, bud.
Yeah, so that was really good. Gail, all you're doing is what works. Just everybody do what Gail's doing. Set up a system that works and then work it really hard. My parts here. So Hyperlocal. Hyperlocal is kind of unique for me because I'm in South Florida. Obviously, everybody knows that I'm in Southwest Florida here. We are a tourist economy. People don't live and buy and they don't exchange, typically. Now, in the last few years, since around 2018, a few years, man, I'm getting old, guys. I'm 8 years ago now. So last 8 years, 10 years, more people have been moving down here locally. And, that is something that we have really been targeting them with is branding, community branding. You can become, and I'm talking about you directly, is you can become the go-to agent in any community that you want to be part of. Now, how do you do that? It's going to take 18 months. It's going to take 36 months, but you're going to be doing this business for the rest of your career. So you need to start this today. Just like Gail was saying with her YouTube channel, you're going to be doing YouTube content for the rest of your career because it's going to constantly bring you in active leads. So for what I'm doing for hyperlocal targeting is that anytime that I have a buyer that is looking in a specific community, neighborhood, area, I send out around 100 letters that are just like what Dennis says. I go into depth about this buyer that I have. Now, I give you big air quotes because I have a database of over 80,000 buyers now. I've been blessed enough that my parents were building this database from Google in 2001, and we haven't stopped today. So I genuinely actually have an 80,000 person database, which I know you might not all have, and I understand that, but you don't need an 80,000 person database. You just need one client that is looking in that neighborhood, that has asked a question about that neighborhood, that has any curiosity about that neighborhood. And you do want to give them detail. You want to kind of dive into it so that people believe you. Perception is 9/10 of the battle in marketing. And what we're doing here is marketing. So you need to create the perception of whatever it is that you want the end user or your future client to perceive back to you. And that's the same with YouTube. Gail was just telling us that you got to have that. You got to be likable, you guys. You have to want them to want to work with you. And that comes from how you write your letters, the coloring, your branding. How is it dark and dreary and it looks like a law firm? Or is it fun and bright and greens and yellows and pinks? Which type of person would you rather work with? And the thing is the great news is it can be dark. This all works, you guys. It doesn't matter if you're more of a serious law firm, you use Times New Roman on your words. There will be typically older white men, excuse my white, there's going to be a demographic that feels really good about, hey, this guy is super cut and dry. Like he doesn't try to blend this. He doesn't try to market it. He's just to the nose, or at least that is the perception that you are letting them feel when you are advertising to them. So I do all the letters anytime I have a client for an area that I want to do. anytime that we write a offer, another letter goes out. You see that. So again, we just put in an offer and I'm getting my clients a great deal, but I have another buyer because I was just here and I was talking about it on my YouTube channel. Then link your little post or link your TikTok or link your Instagram. I was just talking about it on my Instagram. Everybody will click on it because they want to see what you were talking about their neighborhood, right? So they're curious and you're building it towards them. It's all about them. It's about their neighborhood, their community, what you can do for them. Every single piece of content should come back to, right? This is what we're doing for you. Here is our USP, and this is what we offer. For sellers, we have buyers that are cash or they're ready to go. They're not going to get all mucked up in this weird interest rate battle. So I have a cash buyer that's looking to buy right now, and we can't find the right home from them, or the right home for them in your community. If you know anyone, can you give me a call? And you see how that just leads them down the path of, wow, Karen, get in here. You won't believe this letter I got. We were just talking about selling the house and he has a cash buyer. You just created the perception of everything that they wanted, which is the goal. The other thing is events. I know, Catherine, you wanted to ask about events. Events are the key. So the marketing and the branding are what gets you into the communities. The events are what make it so you don't have to keep spending that $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 every single month. You can do events. Our biggest events have been client appreciation events on new build communities. And you said, why would you do an event on a new build community? Because just like, was it you, Dennis? I don't remember who it was, but one of us just said, people move into these communities and it's not what they expected. It's not what they were hoping for, and they actually leave. A lot of the folks, I don't have a data, so I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you the number. I do know there's a large minority of buyers that are buying in these new Lennar communities that we have here in Southwest Florida that are selling within the first 3 years. That is incredible because all the other agents don't want to go out and market to those new communities because they feel like Lennar has it or the builders have it or they don't have. But if no one else is marketing to them, you guys, you have the advantage of getting in onto the first floor and start building the brand as that go-to agent, where when someone thinks about real estate, they automatically think of you. Not because you sent them one letter, not because you sent them 2 letters, because you've done 18 months or 36 months, 3-4 years of marketing to these communities. And like Gail said, she's done 44 deals in 2 or 3 years. So yes, it takes some time, but you're going to be doing deals during that time and you're building a brand that people instantly recognize. And that is hyperlocal marketing. I'm gonna let everyone else speak because gosh, I could go on forever about this, but that is the goal. Is you have to start it today. You have to be very, very consistent with it and always be offering those people something that benefits them. It's never about you. It's not about how much you sold. It's not how great you are. They don't care. They just want what they want at that exact moment that they open that letter. So that's my hyperlocal marketing.
Cameron, I have a question. I'm not sure I understand. You said you are doing client appreciation events at a new build community?
Yes,
so
yes.
you ask the new build community to have a space where
Absolutely.
you tell them,
Absolutely. So what I do is all of our big communities down here right now have these just incredible, let's call them clubhouses. It's where they put like the indoor pickleball. It's where they're doing, it's just incredible. They're building out community centers. That's their biggest attractor on how they can sell, a Lennar home for 850 grand is you got this beautiful community. You go to the community and you say, we would love to do an event for everybody that lives in your neighborhood. Now, obviously, I've helped a few clients, so my clients are going to come, but we're just doing it for everyone. And we're going to do, like Gail said, pickleball if there's pickleball there. Wine, it can be unlimited. It's whatever interest you have. And that's the thing that works, is that you're able to kind of angle it so that you're able to stay consistent with it and do it year after year. And I'm doing it, and I have done it in multiple communities that are just being built. And you don't approach it like a client appreciation event. I would like to sponsor a local event in your community center, and it's going to be, Gail, that pickleball thing was so smart, but it can be anything like that. Pickleball, it can be bocce ball. It can be anything that a lot of people do. Golf, you could sponsor a local 9-hole golf tournament. My team in Georgia is actually doing that right now. He is putting on a sponsored 9-hole golf event for everyone in the community. And he's the main sponsor. So you're allowed to be creative with it, do stuff that you enjoy. The part that everyone doesn't do or they're afraid of is they're worried about reaching out to this HOA, but you have to remember the HOA is only there to give the community events something to do. So if you can bring them an event and you'll handle it all for them, they're more than happy to do that. At least down here they've been. Yes. So yes, absolutely.
So you invite your past clients, but also do you direct mail the neighborhood?
Yes, if it's a community that I'm doing in. So we did, the last time I did this was in, I'm not a Verdanda Village. It was in the place at Corkscrew. And what I did is I did my mailers, because I've already been mailing that community because obviously we have open houses coming up. I've just sold a house there. We have a buyer looking. So this community has been receiving letters from me for months and months and months. And then they get a letter saying, we're having a party. Come on in. That's how I invited them. It was just another direct mail letter that was, we're having a party. It's coming up. And we would love for you to be there. We'd love it's invitation only. You have to have your piece of paper because you got to make them feel special. So bring your piece of paper, your invite, and we'll let you in. And we did wine, we did cheese. They have a huge, like, beautiful restaurant area at the place. So we did it there in their suite area. Yes, but you have to reach out to the HOA management and offer them something for the entire community.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Lawson, Mr.
Hey.
Utah.
Let's go, David.
All
Woo!
right. Gail, I love hearing your stuff. I've got an appointment to go to, so I'm going to be very quick. I've got a lot of things to say, but I wanted to just share with you one thing. The number one highest return thing, and you guys have hit on it, and I call it a yikes letter. So, can you guys see this where it says yikes?
Yep.
Okay. So about 15 years ago or longer, I started doing these. They're called yikes letters. And what you said, Cam, and a few of you said, send a letter. So when you get a buyer, and I also have a complete SOP on steps 1 through 11 to do this. I don't have it right now with me, but this, and Mitch or somebody said, don't write a letter or call somebody and say, oh, I have buyers for your neighborhood. That's bullshit, right? So what we do essentially is we send this letter. And this letter has been modified many times. In fact, I just realized it's an old version, but it doesn't matter. You're going to get it. The first thing is it needs to say yikes right away when people open this. We also have a version that is done through a Robo Ink company. But when it's like yikes, people read it, right? Then we talk, here it is about who we are. And here's a logo that I put together 10 years ago. Think outside the box, right? I know how to win, right? This box really gets people thinking, oh, wow, these guys really do think outside of the box, right? And Mitch, you're my guinea pig, okay? It says, Dear Mitch, or Dear Jeremy Ranch owner, if you're in the Jeremy Ranch subdivision. The Lawson team is representing the Stout family from Carlsbad, California. They're desperately looking for a property in Jeremy Ranch. However, there are no properties that fit their needs. Yikes. I have to ask a favor. Do you know anyone in the area who might be interested in selling, or have you ever thought of selling yourself? If so, call me. And then I have a little bit of sales letter, right? Property sales are high. They can close. In other words, the buyer has got some flexibility. We're one of the most respected. Yeah, this is at England Volker. Sorry, it's definitely old, guys. Right? We're the exclusive agent for the ABC TV show Real Estate Essentials on every Sunday. Global advertising. You need to find a replacement property. No problem. Our buyers are flexible and we can find you and information on us. And then the thing is sometimes people, and I wish I had the SOP, but I got to run. But basically, when you get this letter, you call them and you say, they say, oh, the Stout family, what are they looking for? They definitely, are you in Jeremy Ranch? Of course they are, because we only sent it there. And all I want to do is get in the house, get in front of them. Once I get in front of them, then what I do, if I think it's a house for the Stout family, when I'm there, I will do a video. Oh, Mitch, would it be okay if I did a FaceTime video with my buyer because he's in California right now? Oh, sure. And then I do the video in front. If I don't, if raw stout isn't available, then what I'll do is I'll say, would it be okay if I took a video of the home so that I can send it to him? They usually say yes. And then, do you think it'll be a home for them? And I say, well, I don't know. I need to see it. That's how you get in the door. Once you're in the door, obviously you have your listing presentation, your listing consultation, you have other things, right? But then when you're there, you just ask questions about, what are they thinking? What's the time frame? My client's a little bit flexible. This is going to be a second home, so they have a flexible time frame. How about you? Well, whatever, right? And I send out, we try to do these in $150 or $250 batches. They cost less than $1 a piece, including the mailing, but call it $1, so 150. And my return on Yikes letters is higher than any other lead source I've ever had. And it's hyper local. And if they say something like, Mitch, say something like, do you really have a buyer?
Yeah. Were you faking me here, or you just doing this get in the door here?
Mitch, you know what? If I'm going to send you a letter, I'm going to tell you as a professional real estate agent that I have a buyer and I don't. I'd consider that to be real estate malpractice. So the Stout family and his lovely wife, in fact, by the way, her daughter or his daughter just became Miss Teen California. Right. So I say something very specific about the people, right? And then they start talking and it works like crazy. And the very best, what the best opportunity here is that I list their house and I get a house for the Stout family. And then I find them another house because they're moving up or down or sideways or whatever, right? And so the key is don't ever send this unless you have a real buyer, because in my opinion, what are you doing? It's real estate malpractice, right? And when you say things very sternly like that, then they're like, oh, okay, this guy really has a buyer. And I could share with you the SOP at another time, but at the end of the day, this
Great.
doesn't get much better. So there you have it.
Yeah, I've used those before, and very, very successful too. Dennis?
Yeah, I just want to add, guys, I just want to add that I concur with Dave 1,000,000,000%. So that is by far, guys, by far, not even close, by far the best thing I've ever done in my business is that letter. I sold the founders of Costco house for $14 million, then resold it for that. I made over $500,000 off that letter. Very specific. So, Mitch, I think we should do another call, really just based on this letter. I think that's the single most best thing any agent can do. And you don't have to have huge amount of sales like Dave or any of us on here. You could have very little sales. You just have to have a real specific buyer. So I think that would be a good beneficial thing for everybody, just to add that in there.
Yep.
Yeah, and if I could maybe in 15 minutes, I could do the whole program, or 20, Mitch, and I could show my SOP. So if you'd like me to do that on a later date, I'd love to help.
Yep.
I'm
I love
recording.
that.
Thanks, everybody. So I'm going to sign off, but you guys crush it out there. And Ross, I'm going to call you as soon as I find that house in Jeremy Ranch for you.
There you
Nice.
go.
Thanks.
Thanks,
How'd you
Dave.
know I was looking?
Russ, you're up, bud. Good, Russ.
All right, cool segue. It's hard to follow everybody because you guys are all rock stars. I love all these hyperlocal approaches, especially the walk and talks. I have several people on the team doing that. I'm just looking at some DMs that my man Alec was sending me. He got a Olympian volleyball player. He's had Fred Durst. He's had all these people reach out to him through Instagram. because of his walk and talk videos, his property walkthroughs, his business spotlights. So what he's doing is he's going and finding new businesses and highlighting them, giving a spiel on them, partnering with them, expanding his reach, looking like the local expert. And by the way, he moved to Orange County less than a year ago, and he's got 10 million in the pipeline, and he's 23 years old. He turned 24. Sorry, I fell up. So he's on the right path using the media that works for him. We have agents in LA that are committed to posting every day to their style. So for me, Hyperlocal, I love the mailers, I love the letters, all that stuff is fantastic. I never used it. I can speak to my path of being a hyperlocal powerhouse in a small little market of the desert area, and that started with the thing that everyone hates, and that's buying leads, right? So I decided I was going to invest what I had into buying leads, and that's how I grew my database very, very quickly while getting paid. So I know everyone likes to talk about the 40% that you have to give to Zillow now with the Flex team. That's just one client. I'm going to get 4 to 9 clients off that one person that comes into my database, and guess how much I have to pay for them? 0 referral. That's the way I've been able to grow my business. That's why I have a database like Cam does, because that's what I focused on. I'm not as, like, if you can tell, this is me on a Celsius. Like, I'm jacked up right now. I'm nowhere near Gail's energy level or Craig or Cam. Like, I'm low key. I'm not really fun. And, like, I can be, I guess, maybe. I don't know. My wife likes me.
You're fine.
So, anyway, my personality is just different, right? Like, I'm not even near Mitch's level. Like, that fool knows how to make everybody laugh and get engaged at any moment. I'm more business-like, and what I'm going to do is give people excellent service. Bobby Martins, who's normally on this call, sent me a referral 5 days ago. We're already 2 days in escrow, and his clients are raving because I'm going to do an excellent job. So when I get a lead, I'm going to do great on the front end. I'm going to do great in the middle. I'm going to give them an awesome deal. I'm going to serve them great. And then on the back end, I'm going to ask them for business, because they're the best compliment I could ever get is all my friends were saying that buying real estate is hard, and I've 2 weeks closed and I'm still waiting for the hard part. So anyway, being hyper-local is knowing the processes, knowing the areas, giving the best service, and being ahead of the game, knowing that you need all these certain inspections, and just being the local expert of a real estate transaction. I couldn't go to Florida and do that. I don't know what's going on there. I do have a team in Florida now. Let's go. So if you guys are listening, that's awesome. So, but being hyper local can start with however you'd like it. If you want to invest in leads as a pay as you go, you will grow your database exponentially faster than any of these other methods. You'll meet real buyers in the market. Yes, there is a piper to pay, but it's a great way to grow your business. And here's how I'm infiltrating. So I'm in a new market. I'm in San Diego. The way I'm infiltrating the coast listings is I'm buying realtor.com leads in every city on the coast. And guess who I'm meeting? People that want to buy condos for 2.5 to 5 million. And guess what they have to sell? A $10 million, 3,000 square foot house on the water. I found my seller. And not only am I going to make a sale for it's going to be a $13 million sale, not a $3 million sale, because I'm going to earn their business. So find your way to infiltrate the market, whether it's through all these mailers and fun things. And guess what? That costs money too, right? Nothing's free. But just find your avenue to meeting people. And that's what it's all about. I'm not good at throwing events. My wife would be freaking excellent at this, but anyway, we have kids and all that fun stuff, and she's rocking that out. So, but I'm not good at that. What I was good at is giving really good service. So I found a way where I can meet people to win them over with my service and go down that route. If you have a bigger personality, use your tools to meet as many people as possible, grow your database, and then touch them. Get people to raise their hands. As you earn more money, implement technology. It's going to make people raise their hands. So you're working with hot buyers all the time, and just set up a system to where you're doing what you do best at all points. There you go.
Great stuff, as always. Who are we up to? Mr. Lurch.
I got to tell you, the stuff that's going that you guys are throwing out there is awesome. It I guess, more smacks you in the face again, saying, "What the freak are you doing, and why aren't you doing more of it?" Versus sitting and doing whatever we're doing. Gail and I have a chance to talk a lot, and I love, why Gail and I get along, because she's from Jersey, and the same thing with Karina. But the bottom line comes down is what everybody says is working. That walk and talk works. I can tell you from just doing the social media and trying to learn it through the years. Go out there, push the button, and damn it, do it. Just get out there. People wonder who you are, what you're doing. What we decided to do is we changed things on our business card. We have our business card, but we decided to chase also kind of like Pitbull. Everybody knows Pitbull is Mr. 305, right? So what did we do is we just went after selling 215. We went after that specific area of a phone area that is the largest in Philadelphia that covers multiple spaces. So we have my regular card, but then we have that then has the QR code that then goes to stories of the neighborhoods, goes to the stories of the things we produce, goes to our YouTube. So what we're doing is QR coding everything on the back, but it's looking different than everybody else's cards. So when you walk around or you're giving a card out and you have a picture of your city or whatever it is with that on the back versus just a business card, that's going to get attention. That's going to be where it's at. That's where people are going to want to follow from it. And it's getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Pretend you're somebody brand new going to a town. You're not going to live in a snow globe. You're going to go out and tell everybody who the hell you are. Go out and smash your snow globe like Gail did. You like Pete did, like Ross does, like Cam and Karina and everybody down there. I can tell you the only fear you have is the fear you have in yourself. And I know this isn't the part of what to go do. The bottom line I just walk around with my camera. I ask people that own stores, hey, by the way, you want to do a post with me? Tell me about your place right now. Let's go. Boom. The more you help, the more they're going to want to see, hey, by the way, and then I'm going to post that on their Google page. Because now I'm on their page. Now they're going to see me. Now I'm tagging them oh, by the way, what's your social media? What's your tag? Now as I'm doing it, I'm hitting all their levels and their people that I'm not even able to hit to. You don't know everybody. Go through somebody else's algorithm. All right. And do it with other great realtors. Do it with other great realtors. I have some realtors that I have on my radio show where we're out walking and talking, just having a fun conversation about a market, about how crazy it is or how stupid something was. We got like 8,000 views. Do you know how much money you got to spend to have 8,000 people sitting in an auditorium listening to you about a story? Got it for free. Go talk. You have fun. Commingle. If you're in XP, maybe it's an attraction that you two start doing more business together. So that's one of the things that we're doing. I'm hanging out with other influential realtors that have good followings, and we're doing posts together, which is creating, and the odds of us crossing paths in listings, we're very few. I know it because they all say, I can't believe we don't compete against each other more often. So get curious. Go to a different marketplace with another agent that you're not doing a lot of, that you're not competing against a lot, that has it. So those are the things other than what everybody else is doing, and those are the things that we're doing. The bottom line is go out, do more walk and talks, do them with realtors, do them with clients, do them with your family, do them with your kids. If you got a young kid, what a great place. Hey, Johnny, I don't have a great kid. I'm now using my daughter's dog in AI. He's now our director of pet relations to help, and his description is helping all humans find their new home for the love of their life, which is their pet. I mean, that's where he's at. But he's a brown Cocker Spaniel in a blue suit with a white shirt, and he's starting to talk. Isn't your human silly? He's out looking for houses with somebody who's only sold 3.6 houses. I know a guy I know my daddy can help you, something like that. Throw stuff out. It's humorous. So went on a tangent. That's how I'm hyper-locally doing all local businesses.
That's great. Yeah, and I will tell you, the people like Mitch, how did you become so successful? Only because I'm funny. I have no other talent at all. I just make jokes. So make it funny. Karina, you're up, girl.
Okay, so a lot of amazing information has been shared here today. So I'm going to talk about things that I do that's not going to repeat over with everybody else's stuff. So I'm really big on making sure that everybody knows my name and my face everywhere. So I sponsor a ton of kids sporting events. One of the best things about kids sporting events is you have a captive audience on Saturday mornings when the kids are at baseball practice or football practice or whatever the word is. And you show up there with your business cards and some tchotchkes, whether it's a bottle opener or something, coffee and donuts from Dunkin' Donuts. And you sit there and you talk to the parents and ask them about their kids. By asking them about their kids, then they'll say, well, thank you for sponsoring our family. I continue to sell from all ages just based on sponsoring the kids. And I truly feel like every kid should play a sport because it teaches them life lessons and there's a lot of kids that need that sponsorship. So my banners are up, houses, or if they're in high school, they may be downsizing. So go sponsor as many sports teams as you can, but then show up. You don't have to show up to all the games. Show up to a couple. Do a local, if it's in West Melbourne, Florida, I might take 3 or 4 neighborhoods around the school and bring that as my comps and hand them out to them so they can see what's happening in the local. Thing is that I always said when we go to real estate school, they say, don't be a secret agent, right? So I thought about it and I was like, how can I not be a secret agent? So I was able to do Skype videos and turn them into YouTube videos. And then I turned around and went into Periscope, but I'm an Android girl, not an Apple girl. So there's a lot of videos where I'm walking on my head on water in Merritt Island because it would flip me upside down and I couldn't see in the sun. However, the day Facebook Live came out, I had already kind of perfected my talking on live video without having it scripted. And I have sold so many houses. I've picked up so many clients because I'm looking to sell that one house. So I'm not doing my Facebook Lives are not scripted and I'm showing the house for that one person. I only need one person to buy the house or to refer it to somebody else that is going to want to see a 14 or 15-minute long video because I'm not going to miss anything in that house. I've fallen down the stairs on live video. Nobody called the cops or an ambulance for me, but I was able to run back up the steps and sell the house it went viral and I sold it in an hour. So I prefer to trip over your dog and leave them behind, please, because I'll get more attention. But it's the attention to sell the house. And then the next thing is I do send newsletters out to the major neighborhoods that I'm going after. I've been doing that for years and it definitely comes out great. I make sure they have the links to all of my Instagram pages, and I even give them a website, a link to go look at it online if they want to see it online or pass it on. And then I also do, I like to do walking the home stores. We've talked about that before. Get your face in front of people and get out of your office. If you're sitting in your office all day, you're missing the boat because this is a people's business, not a sit behind the computer. And then we have talked about mailbox power in the past. I still leverage that business for sending out a lot of great data to different customers and repeat customers. If you're not going back to your past customers, you're missing the boat because they too are referral sources and they're also buyers and sellers again. And the last piece is years ago, I started a thing on my YouTube channel, Coffee Talk with Karina, and I would interview people at my dining room table with 2 cups that had my logo on it. And now we're doing it on the road. So we're going 2 people. And now that I have enough stuff that I can carry around with me, they're excited to be able to promote their business. When you promote their business, their family, their friends, and everybody else is going to know about it. And they're then pushing, just like Craig said, to their Google page and their Facebook and their Instagram. So now I'm not just in one, I'm asking to go into all their social medias. And now I'm the expert and they can't say enough great things about me because they're the ones on camera. So put the camera on your people. And even the last thing is when you are at the closing table, take your phone, because we all have it in our hands, and do a quick 10-second testimonial with your buyers or sellers on their experience. Don't do it live in case they have something bad to say or curse, but not on purpose. And so just put that camera on them and post it everywhere. Don't just pick YouTube. You don't know who's on what social media platforms. So you want to be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I still can't figure out that Snapchat thing, but I'm somehow on there and it doesn't make sense to me, but I'm still there. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just leverage all of that, but also get into the community. If you're not being a mayor of your area, you're missing the boat.
Great stuff. Great stuff. All right, look at this. I actually have 7 minutes to talk. I never get time to talk and share my stuff. Okay, so I have a lot of stuff on this because I did a lot of this when I was growing my business. And keep in mind, I did my business without knowing any people at all in my area. I was just like Gail, just like Pete. I was brand new to real estate when I got into real estate here. And I knew my girlfriend, who's now my wife, and that was it. So and she was living with me, so she wasn't buying anything for me. I tried to get her to buy stuff, but she wouldn't listen. All right, so a couple of things. Catherine, this goes to what you were asking. I used to do these regularly, and they were unbelievably successful, is welcome to the neighborhood parties. So somebody would buy a house, and then I'd talk to them, I'd give them about a week, and I say, I want to do a party in your driveway. Now, again, if you're in Philly with Craig, you're not doing this time of year. But we want to do a party in your driveway, and we're going to invite all your neighbors so you can meet your neighbors. And we would get 20 to 30 plus people to show up every single time. And of course, a week after they buy the house, they still love you, right? They don't hate you yet because the water heater didn't break, the AC didn't break, and all the other stuff. So they still love you. So we do that. And I had a big banner that said, welcome to the neighborhood. I brought a portable grill. We did hot dogs, hamburgers, beer, wine, and waters and sodas for the kids. Cost was $100. And I always got at least one good lead out of it. Always, 100% of the time. So that's number one. These are a little more technical, but they're really, really good. Buy domain names. This is a good one, guys, by the way. I got a ton of leads from these. Buy domain names that are neighborhood related. So a couple of things. If you have a new construction you hear about that's going to go in, buy the domain name before the builder does. I've done a couple of those, and they're great because I own the domain names. And actually, I've sold the domain names for some pretty good money to the builder. But if they don't have, like if there's a neighborhood, like we have Casa Bella here, one of the high-end neighborhoods here locally, and where I'm at right now, right across the street from my office. And they couldn't buy that. But I did buy CasabellaMelbourne.com, and it ranked number one anytime anybody searched that neighborhood. You don't get a ton of leads from it, but the leads you get are solid. Because it says, so any neighborhood that you're working in, buy the domain name. Then build a landing page. It is all about that neighborhood. Now, you can do it, tie this in with a Facebook group. So I did this, and you become the Facebook group for all of that neighborhood. So you get people in that neighborhood to join the Facebook group. When people go on, they can come into that landing page, into that, and so on. Monthly marketing, twice a month marketing to a neighborhood. If you've heard me talk before, you know the one thing I dwell on is the only reason why people will use you is because you happen to be in front of them when they're thinking about buying or selling. Once a month to me is not enough. And I learned from a guy that did 50 plus listings a year in one neighborhood. And he taught me to do 8 mailings in a row every week, and then every other week forever. And all the every other week forever is out. The first one that goes out is a market update, what's going on in the neighborhood. The second one is top 10 things to do in the area. Every single person has said one thing, one word everybody said, which is consistency. I don't care what you do with all these things. You just got to be consistent. That's how you become successful. Neighborhood videos. I'm not going to talk about videos because everybody's talked about walk around the neighborhood with the video, right? And then the final one I have for you guys, which I really, really like, and I actually just came up with this one while we were sitting here, but I really like the idea. Interview homeowners. Like find homeowners in the neighborhood that love living there and have them testimonial in the neighborhood. Now, don't bring on anybody. Like Karina said, don't do it live. Because if they're jerks, you don't want them to, this neighborhood sucks, I wouldn't move here. You kind of just screwed up that neighborhood. But I love video. I think video is probably the way to get through to a lot of people because these days everybody's just scrolling through videos, right? I would be doing that on TikTok. I would be doing that on Facebook. I would be doing that on YouTube. Instagram, all those sources. But all this stuff is everything here is about building your database, and that's your job. That's your business is database building. Because if you don't have a database, you don't have anybody to like. And to like you. If you build your database, and you've heard me say this before, if you can add 365 leads a year to your database, you've added a potential 21 more sales every year. So what does that mean? In 2 years, you added 42 sales. 3 years, you added 63 sales. Every year you're doing this stuff, you're adding to your database, and we know 7 out of 100 people are going to buy or sell a home this year. The question is, will you be the realtor? That's the big question, right? And you're there by being in front of them when they're looking to buy or sell. All the things that the letters that you guys talked about today, gold. I mean, I've done those every time I've ever done a letter, and I've only done them when I had a buyer looking for a specific neighborhood. Every time I got a listing from it. Every time. And it costs $20, $30 to write a letter, right? All these things work. Obviously, we talked about probably 15 different things in here. Pick one or two that fit your personality. And Ross is full of crap, by the way. Ross has a great personality. He's just not as good looking as me, but he has a great personality. All right, I think we're good. We're ready at 1 o'clock. We'll see you guys all next week. Have a wicked awesome week. It was a good call, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care,
Great
everybody.
See you guys.